Good day, everybody. I thought I'd take a little bit of time out today. It's the end of July, 2024. Um, I wanted to share my thoughts, and I do go out quite often, and I see how people talk, about others, putting people down, and not even trying to say anything nice about anyone. I was at a function about 2 weeks ago, and I was listening to the pastor talk to people outside of the church, and boy, the way he talked about those incarcerated, those that were homeless, those that were struggling with drug addiction or whatever the addiction was pathetic. That's why it's hard for me to necessarily accept going to a certain church. I've been watching my church I grew up with on Sundays called Parma Heights Baptist Church. It's on YouTube every Sunday, and I think you would enjoy the service. But we as Christians got to be careful not to sit here and put someone else down because they're struggling. We need to pray for them. In 1 John 1:9, God says He will forgive us. You know, we know all things will. Well, that's Romans 8:28. Um, but in 1 John 1:9, he will forgive us. And then in the Lord's Prayer, it says, if you don't forgive others, God will not forgive you. And I was violated as a child from a swimming instructor. It took me 35 years to actually forgive him. And that's when the healing process began. There was a lot of lies about me, about my past. One was by a news broadcaster that was not accurate. Some of it was, but not a lot of it. I had a state rep recently, and in the state house in Ohio, that agreed to meet with us over a bill on parole reform. I got an email back like 2 days later that said, after doing research on my background, he is no longer interested in meeting with me. Now, who do they work for? Do they work for we the people or themselves? They take an oath to, do what's best for our country and our state. And it's kind of pathetic that they would make comments like that towards other people. I grew up as a Republican. I'm very pro-life. Um, I believe marriage is between a man and a woman, but I don't judge people. On what they do. But recently, I had to switch parties because I could not believe how the Republican Party treats other people. I'm a conservative still. And I always will be. But I will not support a group of people that want to come down and bash others. I made some great friends here in Columbus, and I met some uncool friends as well. Um, but what I'm trying to say, folks, is these people that's coming out of prison is hurting. Or the homeless people, they're hurting. And not everybody's homeless because they want to be. Some of them fell on hard times, lost their job, got evicted. Maybe the husband or wife kicked them out. And they ended up homeless. I don't give homeless people money, but I have bought McDonald's for them. I have given water to them. And this will be our second year that we're going to do brown bag lunches for the homeless. It's going to be at the Church for All People the second Saturday of October. So we're looking for donations for that while I'm doing this. It's Cash App is $ Hope for Ohio. These are some of the things that our community and our nation means. We keep letting people come in, but we can't or we don't take care of our own people. Our people that live in America now should be taken care of first. And then the legal people that come over should be taken care of as well. Our country has fallen so far away from God and from biblical principles. I know there's a debate on, you know, about what our country was founded on, but they were founded on biblical principles. I've done a lot of research on it, and I see how things have turned out lately when they take prayer out of schools several years ago, stop the Pledge of Allegiance. And when I say prayer in schools, that does not mean you have one person lead a prayer. It means each child prays individually by themselves. Because I know you have all these different faiths, and you don't want to be violating any religious beliefs. But there's some, getting back to this discrimination, there's so much discrimination that's taken place. Black people know firsthand how it is to be discriminated against because of the color of their skin. Jewish people were discriminated. Irish people, do some research about the Irish people, but the same people want to discriminate against someone else because of the past record. Discrimination is discrimination. It's wrong, no matter who it is or who is doing it. And we have to start doing better as a nation, as Ohioans, and start accepting people. Now, that does not mean you have to invite everybody to your house or feed everybody, but you can be nice to them. Say good morning, treat them with respect. We don't want to push anyone back into reoffending by harassing them once they get out of prison. And it's no fun. These guys have moms, dads, brothers, sisters, children, wives, ex-wives, and they should still be treated with respect. They did their time. They're not sentenced to life on the outside. I did 15 years, and sometimes the punishment continues. I don't let that bother me because people are just ignorant. I mean, we have a mayor and council in Columbus that are very judgmental, that will not help everybody out. No matter who they are, they just think they're better than everybody. And when you can split up a ticket, instead of having a ticket run who is not in the best interest of the city or in the state of Ohio or the federal government, right now our country is such a mess politically wise. And we need to take our first step to vote for those that are going to represent all people, not just partial. So we do have a responsibility. We need to register to vote. I encourage people coming out of prison to register to vote within the first week. And a lot of them do because they see firsthand the problems that our state is facing. Restrictions where someone can live, harassing people because of their past. Maybe they're a sex offender or whatever, I'm not sure. But the state of Ohio is putting people's lives in danger when they had that labeling take place. I just think, there's so much corruptness taking place and not enough people that really care about trying to make a difference in our state and our country. I would really like to see some felons run for office because I do believe they would be more for the people because they struggled and went through some of the same difficulties as others have. So we have a lot to think about. Also, why I have you with me today I'd like some suggestions on what Hope for the Community can do to help others. We would like to help bring resources to the community. Brown bag lunches once or twice a year. Maybe form a group of people that will go in the different back alleys and clean up litter. Um, so there's a lot of things we would like to do, but we also need manpower. We need funds to help support our efforts. It's not my effort, it's a group of people that came together that want to see a big difference take place. So, yeah, I just, all I want to do is make a difference in our community, the community that so many of us have hurt for so long. But when you come out of prison, you can change and you can do what's right. No matter what your political leaders say about you, no matter what the news media says about you, you don't have to be what they say. A lot of times we know the media does not tell the truth. Very rarely do they tell the truth about a guy coming out of prison. You will never see them do a story on a person that has made it, that became successful, that bought a house, that has a nice family. You don't see them doing stories like that because they don't sell. You know, that's why I really don't watch the news. I get tired of hearing the negative stuff that take place. Folks, please pray for people. Don't sit there and bash people. That's not a solution. That's harming society. You know better than the person that actually committed the crime when you do that. And we all have sinned, and most people could have gone to prison, once in their life. I shouldn't say most, a lot of people. You don't have to murder or rape to go to prison. It could be drug related, robbery, stealing, or candy bar. You could get locked up for. So if you ever did any of those, lying, I mean, in the Bible it says God hates liars the most. You know, and remember there is divine forgiveness. And if you have done wrong, like that, or if you were in prison, if you have victims, you need to ask God for forgiveness as well as the person you offended or hurt, if you're able to. So there's responsibilities that we need to hold on to as soon as when we get out. Everybody, I really appreciate you spending the day, a few minutes with me, and I'll try to do this a little bit more often. Thank you.